Hello, everybody. Welcome to the channel. And on today's video, we are going to talk about and react to the updates we have on the crash from the Navy school ship that was doing a tour around the world, kind of like showing the ship. And one of the stops was obviously in New York. They were leaving to their next destination, which I think it was Iceland or Norway, somewhere like in that part of the world, basically. And unfortunately, they crashed against the Brooklyn Bridge. It was obviously very unfortunate. There were some victims that, we have to account for, unfortunately. So let's see the updates and let's pretty much react to what updates we have so far about that tragedy and kind of like to know a little more about the victims, which at the end of the day, that's the most unfortunate part, more than, physical damages on the structures. Obviously, the, life of people that were lost. It's the most unfortunate on these type of tragedies.
Investigators from the National Transportation Safety Board have arrived in New York City to look into what caused that Mexican Navy ship to crash into the Brooklyn Bridge with deadly consequences. The eyewitness video is just stunning. Two people were killed, 22 others injured.
When me and my husband were kind of watching the new, when it first came out on Friday, I think, it was like unbelievable because we were looking at it and on first sight, obviously you don't know any better, you don't know about those things, about boats or anything. We don't even own a boat, so we don't know exactly how that works, but it's common sense that from seeing it at first point of view, they're not gonna make it, but I guess there are too many factors that I guess collaborated at that point that for that tragedy
when
to happen.
The training ship on an international goodwill mission lost power and drifted directly into the underside of the bridge last night. Today, Mexican authorities identified one of the victims. Eyewitness News reporter Sonia Rincon is live on the Lower East Side with more. Sonia.
And Tanya, Mexico's president says both of the victims were young naval cadets who were training on that ship. And the governor of Veracruz has identified one of them as America Yamilet Sanchez, a young woman from that city. Their ship was never...
And it sucks because, obviously it sucks everybody, that went into the accident. But I guess the girl that ended up, passing away from Veracruz, she's from the same part of Mexico, from the same state where I'm from, Veracruz. So, but like I say, even I think the other guy, so she was from Veracruz. The guy that passed away, he was from Oaxaca. So very, young people too. That's always unfortunate for any age, and more when they're young, of course.
For fuel before continuing on that goodwill tour to Iceland. The pilot of the ship reported a mechanical failure, and then the ship began drifting northward out of control and into the bridge. And as the investigation begins into what went wrong, the human toll of the accident is sinking in. Tonight, the same musicians who played for the cadets just yesterday afternoon in a joyful send-off before the ship would set sail tearfully paid tribute to the two who died and the many more hurt. The regal vessel called the Cuauhtemoc appeared to lose power just before 8:30 last night as it headed toward Brooklyn to fuel up, but the current pushed it backward into the Brooklyn Bridge, the impact snapping its three masts.
It was really sad to hear because we made friendships with people from there.
Wendy Mendoza Rios says she and her fellow mariachis left for another gig before the tragedy.
We found out by people who were...
Imagine, that's crazy, because I guess apparently what I'm hearing, I guess from what I'm gathering from her interview, I guess that means that they played that day for the show that they didn't New York. And then they went to another gig, and it sucks. Like then they found out like the people that play for end up dying.
Asking if we were okay because they knew we were playing there.
Thousands of people came to see the ship.
The Mexican Navy ship, now diminished and docked here at Pier 36, drew visitors all last week at the seaport, right until it left.
They're all happy and excited and saying, bye to it. And then
they were kind of living a dream to a point, because, they were on a tour, kind of like training, of course, but they were kind of like trying to, do what they love, and going on a tour, visiting different countries at that young age, almost graduating. So it's, you're all excited, you have hopes and dreams, and, and obviously not just for them, but, their families too, that they were so excited for them to see them happy. And then, 2 of them are now going to go back home. That's just so unfortunate. That's
sudden that happened. It just crushed everyone.
This afternoon, an NTSB team began arriving. The agency says its investigators include experts in nautical operations and marine and bridge engineering. Any damage to the underside of the bridge wasn't enough to compromise it.
I'm shocked that it's open right now, that cars are going across it right now and people are walking on it, just because the damage that it took, but apparently it's okay. I hope our city officials did a good job checking that.
New Yorkers curious to see the vessel and pay respects stopped by throughout the day. And tonight, members of the city's Mexican community prayed for the families in mourning and for the recovery of those injured in the violent collision.
As a community, we just want to say that we are here for them. We want to send them love.
Mexico's president also says her country's Navy is a part of this investigation in coordination with the NTSB, which is planning a briefing on the accident tomorrow afternoon. We're live on the Lower East Side. Sonia Rincon, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
I mean, it's like I say, it sucks. Y ahora vamos con la información que ha dominado. Sucks what happened, like in this type of tragedies. I guess, the only left to say is obviously comfort to the family, hope they can find peace. It's unfortunate. Definitely there has to be a responsible, like somebody that maybe didn't do his job, as do their job as they are supposed to. Like there's so many things involved, I guess, that they have to be in consideration for that tragedy, regardless of whoever's to blame. You cannot bring those two persons back, but I mean, it's just hope like things could be, I guess, figure out. And I don't know, I have no words, honestly. I'm just gonna say I feel really sad, not just because they're from Mexico, just because there are people, regardless the nationality, of course. People are people no matter what. So my condolences to the families, obviously, that lost their very young family members. But also something I heard on another interview or another part of information, they were saying, I guess, like they pretty much they went through the bridge before. I guess it was not the first time, but I'm not sure if it's 100% accurate now. But they were saying like the ship went under the bridge perfectly fine, but I guess when they were going back or something, the sea level went up, and that's why it changed the the dimensions for them to be able to fit under the bridge. That's something I heard. I'm not sure if 100% true, but also that could come into place to the tragedy that happened. And like they say, also it could be mechanical too. There's so many reasons, but anyways, thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. Let me know, obviously, on the comments as well, what do you think that could happen. And more than anything, I guess, just condolences to the family, and hoping that whoever got injured recovers, fast and gets better. Well, thank you so much, guys. See you on the next video. Hasta la. Bye bye.